Hi all. Welcome to Workato Masterclass series. Today's agenda is to understand our date formatting. So before that, let's have a quick recap on what we have understood in the previous session. We have gone through our event streaming, that is even we can call as pubs up, that's publishers and subscribers. So we have seen a detailed video on that and how to do that. And also I hope you are all understood what is pubs up in Workato. If anyone have missed it, please go and check our previous video. I'll be providing this video link in the description box, and also you can click I button at the right up of our video. So let's go to our today's agenda to talk about the date formatting, right? There's several way of doing a date formatting in Workato, but I particularly want to focus on toDate and strf tag. Okay, so in Workato, the main purpose of the toDate is it basically converts a date string basically into a data object. Okay, so basically it formats a date object into string. So a toDate, you require a string format to be given, and whereas strf time requires a date or date time object. Okay, so and also output type also matters here. So toDate gives you date object and strf time gives you string. Okay, so you have to understand when to use toDate and when to use strf time, because toDate you will be used for passing your date basically, right? Example, say you get a date, or say date like in the format of month, day and year. Okay, and followed by time. Now you want that format to be changed to a default saying year, month, and a day, like a date in things. Okay, so in that case, you have to you are changing the format, right? You are changing the format from this date to this format. So you're basically parsing it. So in this case, toDate, you have to give the format in which format your input is coming to convert into a required date. Okay, its default, it will be always in the YYY, and DD format in toDate. Okay, so suppose you want the date to be converted into a different format. Say example, first you need a month, then year, then a date. Say day, you can say. Okay, that can be achieved using strf time, because strf time will help in defining the format, means what format I want in the end and the response, irrespective of your input. But input has to be converted into date, then you can feed into the strf time. Okay, so make sure that you're giving a right format input, right input to the right function. Okay, so you cannot use say toDate to convert a date in the format say YYY format, because it not gives you the required format, since it's default format to YYY. Okay, so to understand it practically, we'll go our workspace and understand this very carefully. Okay, now let's understand the this two particular function that is called toDate and strf time with a practical way. Okay, so I've used trigger based as a scheduler here, and I'm just giving you a date time format here. Okay, and I'm using strf time to convert into like basically the month, date, a day, and the year. Okay, let's run this and understand. After this, we'll understand using toDate. Okay, now if you see, it gives me the required format. Correct? The month is August, day is 14th. This the today's date is, and year is 2025. Okay, date format is it's in this format. Okay, now let's understand our same thing using another to date format. Okay, let's say I'll just add the logger here, and now I'll use the incoming date, which is coming from the third step, which is in date time format. If you see, input type is date type. Okay, now I'll do to string. I'll use to string and to date. Okay, I'll use to date. Now, if I use it, it asks me for the format. If you observe here, it gives me the format as well. Let me drag this here, and if you observe, it asks me for the format. Okay, your incoming date is in which format? Okay, so now if you observe the example here, say 23rd 01/2020, it's a date type, correct? So it says the format is in coming in the input is coming in the format of DD, MM, and YYYY, correct? So my date is coming in the format of what? Say I'll give YY. So I have to give in double quotes YYY. Okay. Now if you observe, right? See, you have to see that this as well, this particular thing as well. The slash, is it's coming slash or not? Okay. So it's coming in. The date is coming in hyphen, right? In getting in the hyphen. So let's say I right now I'll give as in hyphen. Let us see like whether it gives an error. Okay. So it's in y by, let's say it's in y by dd, sorry, mm and dd, correct? So I'll give as same format here, dd, correct? So let's see whether it will be successfully gives me the date. Okay. But okay, see, observe, it gives me the date exactly. So now suppose say I want to change this to be different date. So example, I want to change this date to a to string. Now you have to use the strf tag. Suppose you want converted that into this format, you got now this format, correct? Now use this format to change it to accordingly your format. Star m, like a hash, like a ampersand m, ampersand d, then ampersand y, capital Y. Okay. Now let's see if whether it gives me the exact date which I required in the similar to the previous step. Okay. Now we see in the previous step we got as 08, 14 and 2025. Similarly, I want the using to date, I want to convert that into a required format. Let's see it give me that particular format response. So now, so you have to be careful when you are dealing with a particular date format. So you have to be careful what date is coming, what format is coming. Input is very important here. Input is coming is date, fine, no issues. You can directly use strf type. If it's a date is coming in string, you have to convert that date into a date format, to date, using to date. It's like we have seen in this particular format, to date. And the format is not the format you require. The format here is a format which the date is coming in input. As the input, what is coming? That format you have to give here. Then followed by the strf time will be to convert the required format, means which format you want here. This is a format we need, the format the user need, end user need. That format can be changed here in strf time. Okay, so hope you understood the difference between to date and the strf time. So just to repeat the statement, say to date to used to parse the date, and the format in that particular formula is to understand the which date format it's coming from the input. Okay, and htf time is to convert one date format to another format, date format, on the user requirements, or the requirement is coming from the end user. Okay, so have hope you have got clarified what is the difference between to date and the htf time. Okay, so please make sure that you carefully use the formula well in your recipe building. Okay, with that note, I want to close these sessions with a high note saying keep learning, and keep doing what you are best at. Yeah, keep practicing as well. Thank you.